Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson from Comicbook.com. I was super lucky in that a couple weeks ago, I got to go up to Portland, Oregon, the land of donut and hipsters, and I got to visit Laika Studios. Now, you may know Laika Studios because of their amazing stop-motion animated motion pictures that have been coming out. Now, you may have seen Coraline, you may have seen Paranorman. They have a new one coming out called Kubo and the Two Strings that is absolutely spectacular, and I got a chance to go on set and see some of the work that they were doing in preparation for this movie. Now, the first thing that you can see when you go and visit Laika is the care and dedication that each and every member of the team has. For a studio space, it's pretty small compared to some of the ones down in Southern California, but it is used in the most optimized way possible. And when you get to see some of the nitty-gritty details, you really get to see just how much care and dedication goes into every aspect of building these films. For example, on Kubo and the Two Strings, which is a story about a young boy named Kubo who plays a two-stringed musical instrument and through his storytelling brings origami animals to life, and then he goes on a larger journey with Monkey and Beetle. It's a really cool idea. They actually make each costume in several different scaled sizes depending on the needs of the scenes, and they use a lot of techniques that involve folding paper or hand sewing design panels that you'll really never see unless you get a chance to go up close and personal with them like I did. It's this kind of attention to detail that really lets you see how much thought goes into each and every aspect of the movies that they make, and this is one of the reasons why Laika's films transcend, and one of the reasons why they feel like the most lived-in worlds possible. For example, despite the fact that Paranorman is full of paranormal creatures that you're not used to seeing out on the street in your everyday life, there is something very grounded about that world. Moving on from the costuming designs, we got a chance to look at the different sets that they had built for Kubo and the Two Strings. Now, in a couple of these pictures, it's kind of hard to tell, but most of these flats take up either part of or an entire room, which is about the size of 2 school classrooms. They're huge, and they can have puppets of different scales moving across them according to the needs of the scenes. You can see in some of these detail shots just how many versions of the creatures, of the trees, of the set that have to be made in order to fully populate the world that Kubo lives in. The various Asian influences are very clear throughout Kubo and make absolutely beautiful set pieces against which the story is set. For example, this piece of the giant head stuck in the snow, that is about the size of my whole body laying down, about 5 foot 5 inches long, and they have little tiny fingers that walk across it, and if you had a chance to lean over, you were able to see the imprints that the puppets had made with their feet in the snow. There were also several temple scenes that we got to look at, some post-battle, some pre-battle, and you can see the attention to detail again that goes in with all of these little bodies and all of the detritus that is scattered around. Behind them, there is, of course, the green screen where the animators will go in and flush out more of the world of Kubo. Something that we got to see when we were able to see clips from the upcoming movie is that it's not always a world populated entirely by the maquettes. Sometimes for budgetary restrictions or simply from a design standpoint, they populate the scenes out with other digital maquettes that are mocked up from models that they already have on scene. So often only 1 or 2 of the characters who's in the forefront will be a real puppet being puppeteered either by a human being or an advanced rig unit, although sometimes their counterparts in the background are a CG illusion. One of the coolest things that we saw are the various monsters that populate Kubo and the Two Strings. I don't want to talk about them in too much detail lest it spoil the movie for you, but there are some really fascinating technological advancements that have been made in order to bring these things to life. They are all taller than I am, and they are all taller than everybody else I was in the room with. They are menacing to an average-heighted person. Forget about if you are a tiny little 1.5 foot tall Kubo maquette trying to take it down with the power of music and imagination. Kubo's boat was one of my favorite sets that we got to visit. It is a mainstay later on during the film, and you get to see how smart and how talented Kubo is. You can see from these pictures, again, detailed. It's a word that's come up a lot, but there's just no other word for the precision that goes into crafting these amazing, amazing story pieces. It is utterly beautiful, and the way that it comes together, I know is going to thrill you when you see it on the big screen. Speaking of big bads, this is one of the baddies that Kubo, Monkey, and Beetle will face during the course of the movie. He is the biggest and the baddest guy that we saw on set that day. He fills the entire room and must be operated by a number of people, each in charge of a different quadrant of his body. Laika Studios have an innumerable amount of people working on set at any given time in every department in order to flush out the world of their film in a diverse, beautiful, and compelling way that does the best job that they can at visual storytelling. I hope, as you can see from our brief glimpse inside, just how hard they work, and hopefully, like me, this will give you a better appreciation of how much time and effort goes into making a film like Kubo in the Two Strings. Their production period is anywhere between 2 and 4 years, depending on the film. Of course, they're getting faster, but they are also challenging themselves to do more and more badass stuff as the years go by. I am super thrilled to see this movie when it comes out. I cannot wait to see what they are doing next. Thank you so much, Laika, for having me. Thank you, Comicbook.com, for sending me. And remember, guys, Kubo and the Two Strings coming to theaters near you.